Let's look at how software has been built for the last few decades. If you had an idea for an app, you couldn't just sit down and start building. You had to spend months learning programming languages, studying frameworks, understanding databases, and figuring out hosting. Once you finally started writing code, you were essentially building a fragile house of cards. A single missing semicolon or an out-of-place bracket could break the entire project, leaving you staring at a screen full of error messages. Because of that steep learning curve, countless useful tools never saw the light of day. Beginners spent so much time studying syntax that they lost motivation, postponed their ideas, and eventually abandoned their projects entirely. Vibe coding platforms invert that order. Instead of working from the bottom up, stacking servers, databases, and code, you start at the top. You describe the outcome you want in plain English, and the system automatically generates the technical structure underneath. Removing the syntax barrier shifts the focus of software creation toward clear communication. The quality of the final product now depends on how precisely you can explain the result you want. But there's a catch. If you tell an AI to build a business app, you will get a mess. A vague command leaves the system guessing. To actually engineer a working application, you need highly structured instructions. This diagram shows the anatomy of a successful prompt. We break the plain English instruction into specific logical buckets: the user, the specific problem they face, the desired outcome, core features, design feel, and strict limits on what the app should not do. Lovable takes those exact linguistic buckets and translates them into application logic. Your requested features become actionable buttons, text fields, and navigation menus. This live web environment is interactive from the start. Buttons perform actions, forms collect data, and navigation pathways connect real workflows. Your words dictate the underlying architecture. If your description is ambiguous, the resulting software will be broken. If your description is precise, you engineer a highly functional tool. Let's look at how this works in practice by solving a common problem: forgetting things before a family trip. We can build a simple packing list app. You enter your initial prompt, and within moments, you have a baseline version. It will likely have a place to enter items, a checklist, and a progress bar. It's functional, but it won't be perfect. This flowchart illustrates the core operational cycle of vibe coding. That first draft initiates a continuous loop. You describe the idea, the platform builds it, you test the results, and then you improve upon them. Testing is mandatory. You have to manually verify that the add button works, check if items sort into the correct categories, and ensure the progress bar actually updates when a bag is packed. Once you spot what's missing, you don't rebuild the app from scratch. You simply ask for changes. You type out instructions to add a PDF export option or switch the interface to a dark mode. The platform remembers the previous steps, treating your feedback as an ongoing, contextual dialogue rather than an isolated command. It integrates the new features directly into the existing framework. That means the first version of any app you generate is never the final product. It is strictly a tangible baseline designed to give you something real to react to, test, and refine. A checklist is a great front-end experience, but many projects require more. If you are building a client portal or an inventory tracker, you need a way to reliably save, store, and retrieve user information. This diagram shows how vibe coding scales to handle that complexity. The platform seamlessly connects your front-end interface down to back-end tools like Supabase. That bottom layer securely manages the database storage, handles user authentication, and provides the necessary APIs. But integrating a database introduces serious risk. Before publishing anything that handles private client records or passwords, the builder must rigorously test user permissions and secure the data. The AI can automate the technical connections required to spin up a database, but you remain entirely responsible for the architecture of privacy and security. A common concern with automated tools is the fear of the black box, the idea that your application and all its data is permanently trapped inside a proprietary platform. But these projects can be exported. Lovable allows a direct sync to DataHub, ensuring you retain total independent ownership of the underlying code. You can move the project to different hosting or bring in an outside developer to modify it later. The roadblocks of software development have completely shifted. You no longer have to worry about a missing semicolon breaking your server. Today, the biggest mistakes are overthinking the initial idea or failing to test the output once it's built. Because the barrier to entry is so low, you don't need to start by trying to build a massive tech platform. The smartest first project is identifying the smallest, most useful solution to a specific problem in your own daily workflow. Vibe coding thins the technical gap between a problem and its solution. By trading syntax for specific, logical dialogue, anyone with a clear idea can navigate the complexities of building a working product.